here to the Accident Investigator, and today I'm going to have a look at something that is actually not that nice. This is going to be something to say when ill discipline, come to a, I don't want to say a natural conclusion, but probably something like that. But before we carry on, I just want to say again, remember there's that product SEAMS, aviation training. You can do it online, whatever, wherever you want to do. So today I'm going to speak about this RV7. It's a light, it's a side-by-side. It is it's a fun aircraft. The most beautiful aircraft to do aerobatics in, to do formation in. There's so many good things to this aircraft. However, let us get right into the story of the day. Well, here you can see the aircraft standing in the middle of Plettenberg Bay, and it's landed in a cul-de-sac. So, but let's get a little bit more into this to get and see, or rather say, what is thought about all this. All right. So, first of all, I say there's poor flight planning, and poor flight planning normally would mean where am I going, how high should I be, have I got enough fuel, is there enough time on the engine, and so on and so on. And in this case, well, there definitely wasn't enough fuel, although the pilot would then swear that there was. But anyway, very poor pre-flight, in other words. I would say no pre-flight if it comes to that. Or if checking the oil constitutes a complete pre-flight, I could imagine that would go down as a pre-flight. All right. No plan B. But this is actually the point that I want to get to. There's many things that we can do, but have you got a plan B? Because there's always a chance. And I know we mustn't live in fear of plan A going awry, so to say, but you've got to have in your mind, at least from a planning point of view, to say, but these are the areas I don't want to be in, because then I won't be able to even attempt a plan B. There's this show off for 15 seconds, I think. All of us got that. Some of us just got a hell of a lot more than others, where you really want to show off, you want to see you show you the man. And normally you will have passengers with you when you do that. And how can you impress people if you fly at 1,000 feet above the ground? It is simply not the in thing to do. Low level over built up areas. Man, that seems to me, that's the greatest fun of all. Well, obviously, until something goes wrong, which, if you say to me, this was the first time that this has happened, and this is just a chance in a million, I say, no, it's not a chance in a million. There's many, many more than one chance, because this is definitely not the first time this has happened. But anyway, here I say no or low regard for other aviators. In other words, here you are the guys. You must stick to the rules. You're a bunch of ninnies. You got to stay into the rules. You're not in my league. Stay away from it. This is who I am, and I'll show you. Then low regard for passengers. Well, that's always the problem, The thing is that it doesn't matter who the passenger would be at any stage of the game, but you must take responsibility for the passenger. If you don't, the passenger is going to sue the hell out of you. Okay. If the passenger is dead and you dead, it's fine. The passenger's family is going to sue the hell out of your estate, whatever the case might be. Look, those are the good scenarios, okay? The bad scenarios is everybody got seriously hurt. And then you got to live with that for the rest of your life. Good luck. Okay, no regard for rules. Hey, what happened to basic aviation discipline? What happened to that part that they used to call airmanship? And now we hide it amongst threat and error and, how and. Your attitude, your discipline towards flying, and the way that you tackle it and the way that you present it, still paramount. No regard for license. In this case, the person had a license for a long time. No problem. Who's going to catch me? The thing is here, I just want to say, nobody's going to catch you. Hello? Nobody's going to catch you. You're going to catch yourself. All right, never mind. Probably shouldn't have said that. But okay, let's look at the possible causes for the accident. And remember that I referenced the Civil Aviation Authority, what the information that they gathered, and they said the causes of the accident, and this is pretty much true, although denied, but no fuel check before the flight. There was fuel starvation. The engine just quit. The engine must quit without fuel. That's the technical and the scientific side of things. Okay, engine failure, there's no plan B. Whoa. When there's no plan B, in other words, if you are in such a position or you're at such a height where you cannot fly away from the constricted area, know how to select a better option. Okay, so plan B was killed the moment that there was no possibility to even start or to activate, to think, to control, or to select option B. Here's a little bit of a harsh one. The attitude of arrogance. Wait, let me get to it. Attitude of arrogance leads to unprepared facing of emergencies. Wow, that's a sentence, and this is no suggestion. All right? I'm just making a statement. Now, was there arrogance in this case? You bet. If you read the whole report, it's amazing that I can speak about this. Probably somebody will try and sue me. All right. But the point is, if we don't bring it out to the aviators out there, say, guys, you're getting away with murder. Attempted murder. Whatever. Okay, the pilot's apathy towards rules. He had no valid license. In other words, he wasn't regularly tested. In other words, this. In other words, this. In other words, that. We don't even know if he had a proper conversion onto type. That doesn't matter. He can fly. He can fly. I give that. This pilot, he can fly. But man, that's like somebody that can do a lot of stuff, but you don't want him near you. Okay, here we are. Now, the question always was this a success or was it a failure? But let's get that into maybe a little bit of a perspective. All right. I say it was a success in choosing the only option possible given the height over the built-up area. Now, this is in the center of Plettenberg Bay, and you will see the next one, but there is a little cul-de-sac here. And the only way to get in here was to fly in from this side and to land on that little strip there, coming to stop there. Now, let's look. I've got many hours on RV7s. I love them to bits. And I can tell you, if you really want to, you can do a really split-ass landing. But this was better than that. This was under very serious circumstances. This pilot kept his head cool, and he went for the only option. I don't think there were other options, by the way. He went for the only option available, and he actually made a successful landing in the middle of town. All right. So, yeah, there is definitely success to it. And then they were so successful that there were no innocent bystanders that were killed. Now, well, I'm not too sure that we must call this success or luck, but in this case, all right, yeah, I don't know. You see, the thing is, if you want to find an approach for a landing like this, you haven't got a hooter that you can sound for people to get out of your way or cars or anything. So yeah, there was a certain amount of luck on his side. Nonetheless, let's say that was it was good. Now, yeah, failure in putting so many lives at stake for own desire to be in the spotlight. And now this is what I really want to talk about and say, okay, so your 15 seconds of fame has now become a couple of hours of fame, and you don't think that if anything goes, but everything doesn't go wrong all the time, Charlie. What the hell are you talking about? No, there's rules, minimum heights about built-up areas. Go and look at that. But when we start using our brains, we will see that we can't be at a lower height so that we get an engine failure, then we must be able to outglide the dense part of the city so that somewhere we can land. And in this case, a little bit more height, no problem, could have chosen plan B. But remember, plan B was killed. The pilot said that it was 1,000 feet above the ground. So you make a little bit of calculations and you do a little bit of mathematics and do all of the nice kind of stuff. And you come out to say, but there's no snowball's hope that it could have been that height. If it was that height, then we had a plan B. When you get to a height of 200 feet, I guess, well, not much higher, because in this case, the pilot I think if you take the whole thing together, he happened to be in such a spot where he was basically on a left-hand base for that cul de sac. It just happened to be low enough, no plan B, and he had to go from there. Now, don't look at left-hand base as exactly 90 degrees or anything like that. Could be slightly more, and it could be slightly less. I don't think it's downwind. I don't think there was time to turn around. But actually, there was no other place to go. So, picking the only thing that presents to you does not necessarily prove genius. Never mind. Failure in tampering with the aircraft systems. Yes, afterwards, as a fact, there was tampered with so many systems on the aircraft, which I don't know what the Civil Aviation Authority is going to do. The reason I'm making this and getting it out there is to say to people, hey guys, this is a great sport, but there must be rules to the sport. You can't go rogue. You can't. Well, anyway, so we did. So let's have a look at the lessons, and I'll just draw your attention to this. Now, this is the center of town. And if you look at the little place where it was landed, it was there that it landed. So anything from this arc, I imagine it happened to go in to that final approach. And you will say, well, how can you say that? Well, if you would zoom out, which unfortunately I haven't got here right now to zoom out, and you start looking at how big the area is and how close the sea and clearer areas are. I mean, you do not select a place to land in the middle of the town if you can land outside town. It goes down the natural grain. Therefore, I don't think there's many disputes to the fact that there was no plan B. Plan B, if there ever was one, or if there was a possibility to create plan B, dead. Okay, I'm saying Fisher no one is bigger than the game. Well, all right, a lot of people don't fly it, and they don't understand the saying, and they will do their thing. Fate does not entertain arrogance as a norm. All right. So carry on with the ways that you believe and you better and you get away with it. There will be a day when you don't. Pre-flight and especially fuel availability is stock standard basic rules. Every time. Never assume. Write down assume. It spells A-S-S as, like in a donkey, U, M-E, you and me. Assume makes an as out of you and me. And in this case, it was the me part. Height over built-up areas are there for the specific reason. Well, we know that, but we've got to think about it, and we've got to show that we understand the reasoning behind that. Anyway, insurance does not pay when the law has deliberately been overstepped. In this case, if the insurance is going to pay out, I'm sure there's going to be a serious court case for lots of other people that will say, well, why would we pay it out? So I don't think there's any chance. If they did pay out, or they do pay out, there's going to be some serious questions on how is that possible. Whoa. Let's just talk about the insurance for all of us. I'm part of that game. It's our money that goes in there. If you make a mistake, fine. If this is the kind of way that you're going to treat the stuff and you want insurance where I put my little bit in as well, I don't think so. You have accountability for passengers. Accountability. So in this case, luckily the passenger didn't get something wrong with the passenger. Doesn't matter. Remember, if anything went wrong with the passenger, it would have been a different story. If any injury happened there, and so on. You have accountability to the people on the ground, whom you overfly. It says so in the law. But I think you've read the law a little bit of a long time ago. So it's nice. We're on holiday. We are this. We're permanently on holiday. We've got enough money. We can do this, and we will show the people, and we will buzz the town. And who dares speaking up against me? Sorry, guys, I'm just doing it at this moment in time. Obviously, probably get some hate mail or whatever the case might be, but the skills is good. Yes, he's got fantastic skills. But with this kind of luck, it doesn't make you skillful and lucky, it makes you a lucky fool. All right. That's enough. Until next time.